Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 6 in the book of Psalms, and specifically Psalm 23. Today's title is Rescue Swimmer in the Water. Now, we've been studying Psalm 23, and it's such a horrible word because really what we're doing is we're exposing ourselves the psalm, exposing and bowing ourselves with awe before this incredible piece of literature. So part of it is we're aiming to understand it intellectually, and that's the studying part. And that's just the start. But really what we're trying to do here is to experience it emotionally. So we are in this psalm, and every time we do this podcast and video, is we're aiming for awe. You can judge whether we hit it or not at the end of this. So Jesus is coming to our home so that we can go to his home and be with him forever. That I may dwell in the house of the Lord forever is how the psalm ends, for the length of days as it stands in the Hebrew. And this is, Psalm 23, is the Lord's invitation to be with him, have the same address, live in the same neighborhood, have the same zip code, and have it be without end. So I hope you would ask, how do we get there? Where do I sign up for this? This sounds really good. Now, Augustine said that you have made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. So is your heart restless today? Is it wrestling with eternity? And if so, then Psalm 23 is for you. Because Psalm 23 ultimately points to the eternity that we are still approaching and craving. So Psalm 23 not only has the table set to meet our current cravings, but the table is set for satisfaction of an eternity of yearnings. So perhaps you're longing for the house of the Lord, to be with him. And if so, you have come to the right place. So yesterday we learned that, and kind of pulled in the New Testament here, that a solo sheep is a lost sheep. A solo sheep is a lamb-related emergency, and a lone sheep is like a 4-alarm heavenly crisis. And Psalm 23 assumes fellowship, that you're together in the house of the Lord, you're at the table of the Lord, and the mutual comradeship of the experience of the Lord, and the universality, maybe even of having enemies and the need for restoration to the Lord. So the Lord knows where all the lost sheep are. David Gibson, in his book, The Lord of Psalm 23, makes that point. And if you have someone around you that you would characterize as lost, take some comfort today. The Lord knows where they are. They are not lost to him. Or, more specifically, if you are lost, you are not lost to him. So read with me perhaps the greatest piece of plain literature ever written. It's arguably the best 6 lines in the history of world literature. And if you put over that the truth of Scripture, that this will stand forever, it's untoppable. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So goodness is chasing you down in verse 6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. So this mercy, this hesed, is doggedly pursuing you like a bad penny. Not only does God send them after you, he sends himself after you. So stick around for the New Testament and you'll literally see this, that God is hounding you down with the love missile that is Jesus, the Good Shepherd, the incarnation. Ultimately, his goodness that pursues you is Jesus himself. Rescue mission accomplished. Now, here's here's the verbal thing I want you to remember for today, that when the Coast Guard sends a helicopter over the top of your sinking boat, and they lower the guy to go down and pick you up, they actually issue an all-crew announcement, and it says, rescue swimmer in the water. They say that. And Jesus is that rescue swimmer that we need to attach ourselves to. Oh, people, brothers and sisters, allow your attachment to him. It is the only way out of this sinking non-heavenly home. Now, here's the good news. Jesus is here for you in Psalm 23. Now, David kind of understands the concept. God was pursuing him through all his earthly shenanigans. But it is more for us to fully grasp now that we've met Jesus who has come for us. We have a rescue swimmer in the water for us, and we know who it is. And what kind of fool would say, as the rescue swimmer comes down to your sinking boat, no thanks, I'm not interested. I'm staying on my little boat. What would you give to hear those precious nautical words come across that speaker at your most needful moment? Rescue swimmer in the water. So today, will you cooperate with your rescue? All right, so we've used some crazy metaphors today. We've got the love missile of Jesus coming for us. We've got God pursuing us like a bad penny. And lost to us does not mean lost to God. But my favorite for today is Jesus is the rescue swimmer in the water. Will you cooperate with your rescue? Thanks for listening.